You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, Days of Our Lives fans. We are finally circling back around to Xander Kiriakis and Sarah Horton's separation and their coming bitter battle over their daughter. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt. And hey, hit that subscribe button if you're not following us yet. Let's dive in and see if Dandy Zandy's going to fight Sarah for custody of little Victoria. Now, of course, Xander is still salty after finding out Sarah lied to him about Philip's forged letter, supposedly from Victor, that cost him half his inheritance. But when Xander confronted her, Sarah was unapologetic because she said Xander's still a villain, basically, and she couldn't trust him with the truth. And after he brutally beat Philip over the Versavix theft, the lies, and the forgeries, Sarah quickly figured out Xander had nearly killed his brother. And Kate made sure that Jada arrested Xander, but he is out on bail, and this week he's got a bone to pick with estranged wife Sarah. So Xander is clearly ready to fight the criminal charges against him for allegedly beating his brother Philip to a pulp. Honestly, for beating him almost to death. It is not even alleged. We all saw him do it. The Titan heir easily made bail, and now Xander is awaiting the next stage of the case while Philip still fights for his life at University Hospital. But it's not just Xander and Philip that are at odds. It's an even bigger deal that Xander and Sarah are at odds. And Maggie has also turned against Xander. And then when Sarah listened in after her breakup talk with Xander, she overheard her husband telling their daughter, Victoria, she is the only person that he cares about now. So there could be a custody battle coming between Sarah and Xander, and it could get really nasty. This week on Days, Sarah and Xander have a run-in at the end of the week, possibly at the hospital, because they're both up there on Friday, and they're arguing about little Victoria. And of course, Xander's worried he could take a beating in court, much like Philip took in his hotel room. And yeah, Xander doesn't want to lose custody of or visitation rights with his daughter. So up at the hospital, Xander's in Philip's his hospital room with a pillow in his hand, by the way, unless this is some kind of fantasy sequence. And yeah, I don't think he's there to fluff it up and put it under Philip's head and make sure his brother is comfortable. Xander may be pondering murder to eliminate the one witness against him, which is Philip. But it looks like Xander either has a change of heart or is interrupted, because guess what? Philip wakes up. His eyes are open, and we've got Kate and Sarah and Xander all in the room with him. But what will Philip say when he wakes, and could it cost Xander the chance to have at least joint custody of his daughter? Well, I expect that Sarah and Maggie may try and stop Xander from seeing Victoria at all because of Philip's beating and Xander being charged with that crime. Even though he's guilty as soap sin, he hasn't been put on trial yet. Xander hasn't been convicted yet. And I don't think Philip's assault is going to factor into any custody case between Xander and Sarah as it stands. That's because our leaker told us that Philip is going to refuse to press charges against Xander after he wakes up. So I'm really interested to see how that conversation goes. Kate will be so mad. I mean, Philip could claim he doesn't remember who beat him, but that could leave Xander still facing charges, especially if they DNA tested the blood in his knuckles. But then again, the Salem PD is not staffed by actual Sherlocks or anything. The only clear path to get the charges dropped once and for all is for Philip to say that somebody else did it. Someone random that maybe broke into his hotel room, something like that. He can say it definitely wasn't Xander. I mean, Philip can claim it was a 5-foot-tall woman or someone that in no way matches the description that fits Xander. So right now, we also have Sarah living in the mansion with Maggie and Victoria, and they kicked Xander out of his own Kiriakis family mansion. And while he probably could force the issue, he left without fighting his mother-in-law, Maggie, about it too much. Basically, after what they think Xander did to Philip, and that we all know he actually did do, he's not welcome at all right now by either his wife, Sarah, or her mom. Also, Kate has a police officer at the hospital on high alert telling him to block Xander from being in Philip's room. I mean, honestly, it's not a smart idea for Xander to go in there and smother Philip, because he would be the top suspect if his brother died after that beating he gave him. That would definitely kill any custody hopes in addition to killing Philip. So here's what else our leaker told us. The gap between Xander and Sarah soon widens. She will always love Xander, but Sarah doesn't like his dark side that came roaring back when he tried to kill Philip. And if you remember, this isn't the first time Sarah lied to Xander because of his villainy. And honestly, it's not Sarah's worst lie either. If you remember when she was pregnant and gave birth to Victoria, Sarah initially didn't want Xander to know Victoria was their child because of his sinful ways. She had Rex Brady pretend to be her baby daddy back then, but finally Sarah caved and confessed the truth. And since then, Xander has been a wonderful father to Victoria and by all accounts, a good husband to Sarah. But ever since Philip came back, it's been a real struggle. You remember, Xander would have shot Philip right in the face if that gun that he handed Xander had been loaded. So it kind of seems doubtful that in a custody case against Sarah that Xander would do well, but you never know. I mean, Sarah did steal Kristen's daughter Rachel as a baby and ran off with her, but then again, that was Xander and Victor's fault for pulling the baby swap. I mean, Sarah's reputation isn't spotless. She's got some mental health issues. She's got a few things in her past, but it's a hell of a lot better than Xander's past because he has a criminal record, multiple felonies, plus a prison break, and he was a Demera henchman. It's not a spotless resume. And then his arrest for assaulting Philip would also not look great in family court. However, Xander's likely going to catch a break if Philip does what our leaker says and refuses to press charges. And our leaker also told us that where Xander and Sarah's split is concerned, Philip blames himself for lying to Xander, cheating him out of his half inheritance and putting Sarah in such a tough position. We have heard that Philip is going to reconcile with Xander and be determined to forge an honest and genuine brother bond between them. And from there, Philip is going to become this advocate. He's going to make it his mission to put together what he broke and reconcile Xander and Sarah's marriage. It won't be instant, and there's going to be roadblocks because Brady is going to get kind of close to Sarah and Xander's scheming ex Gwen comes to town in just a few weeks. But I have confidence in Philip, and maybe if he can heal them, then Sarah and Xander won't have to rip each other apart in custody court fighting over adorable little Victoria.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.